Hi, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I'm going to be telling you guys about the time that my friend had to escape from a coven of, they called themselves witches, but if they were scared of what I was saying to them, then they couldn't have possibly been no real witches, okay? Or maybe I was just speaking such authentic things that they thought that I really was who I had lied and said that I was. But we'll get to that point in the story. Okay, so my friend, she's one of those type of people, and she will get into some mess. Okay, honey, she will give something a chance. She will give something a try. She will give something a go. She does not care. She's not one of those type of people that's reserved at all, none whatsoever. So these people, they was holding a meeting at this place that she was visiting. Her aunt always visits this place. This is a place where her aunt had learned how to do many things. She learned how to bake from here. She learned how to do crochet from here. She learned about religion from there. Like, like the different people be there. Like maybe the Christians may be there. Then the Jehovah's Witness people would be there, and so on and so forth. So her aunt always goes to this place. We'll just call this place the AA place, okay? We'll just call it that. So her aunt always goes down to the AA place, and she's cool. Her aunt isn't crazy. Her aunt isn't, out of her mind or anything like that, or it's no problems or no issues. So my friend, she starts going with her aunt, and she runs into the smoker section, which is outside of the building, in the back of the building by the garbage can area. It's like this little clean area, and people can go back there and they can smoke and stuff like that. So my friend, when she went back there or whatever, she had told her aunt like, "Oh well, I'll be back. I'm about to go smoke and blah 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 or whatever." And so she had went out and she started talking to the people that was back there. And of course, my friend is not reserved at all, none whatsoever. So she started actually talking to these people, and these people was like basically telling her the truth. Like they told her who they was or whatever. They told her that they was a coven, and they told her their coven's name, and they told her, like all the details and all of that kind of stuff, because she was like interested, because she had said that she had never met a coven before. And so she said that she was interested, which was fine, with me. Like, you can be, curious about stuff if you want to. I don't really care. So the coven people, they had gave her some kind of form of communication to them. I don't know if they gave her their direct number, if they gave her somebody else's number that was in the coven, like the main person that was talking or whatever. But she had got in touch with them or whatever. And so, I mean, well, she had got some type of contact so she could stay in touch with them or whatever. They wanted her to stay in contact with them. And so she came back in. She finished her night with her aunt. That was that. She had told us about the coven, but she hadn't contacted them yet, and they hadn't contacted her yet. So the like a couple days later, she had left her house or whatever, and she had bumped into one of them around the way. Okay, and she went to the store. She wound up seeing one of the people from the coven, and they was like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" Blah blah blah. They was just talking regular, and she was just like, basically talking back regular to them, and didn't think nothing of it, and called it a day, and went on about her business for another couple days. Okay, and so after that, she had bumped into another one of them. And when she had bumped into another one of them, they basically had inquired, like, "Oh, well, did you get a chance to call? Or did you call down there? Or did you call the number that we had gave you?" And blah, blah, blah. And she had basically said, "No, I haven't had a chance to call yet. I've been so busy, blah, 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 cha, cha, cha." And so the person was like, "Yeah, you should give it a call and, give it a try. And, it's nothing shady or anything like that." And just kept pushing. And it wasn't nothing wrong, in her encounters with the coven. I mean, they obviously hang down at the AA place. Like her aunt hangs down at the AA place. So it wasn't like peculiar that she was running into these people now. It's like she finally had a chance to meet them, so now she's running into them. That's how she, viewed the situation or whatever. And so and she had wound up calling them. Okay, why? I don't know. I don't even know why she called them people, but she called them and she talked on the phone to them, and they told her that they was holding a meeting and that she could meet them at a place, but the place wasn't a building or anything like that. It was a house. And so she had asked, could the girl that take mythology with me, like at the time when I was in Professor Art class, she asked her could she take her or whatever, because I couldn't take her. I already had something to do and I was not about to cancel to go mess around with no coven. Um I know that sounds like a crazy sentence, but it's the truth. Okay, so she had asked her could she take her or whatever, and she wound up taking her to go deal with the coven, and they said they had a good time or whatever. The coven was nice. They didn't do anything to them. They had gave them, like food and wine, and they were nice, and they had like these gift bags, and it was like different cheeses and stuff like that or whatever in there. And it was just like some cool people. They didn't do anything. And they didn't even talk about their religion or anything like that at the meeting. So, what the girl in my mythology class and my friend didn't know was that once they had went to that meeting, the coven was going to consider them a part of the coven. It's like if you show up, you a part of this now. So now you gotta get down with us. If you don't show up, then you're not a part of anything. We're just gonna, keep possibly popping up and asking you or inquiring, but that's the farthest we'll take it. So she didn't know that. She didn't inquire, like, okay, and if I do come to this meeting, what happens, or what does that mean for me, or what does that mean for us, or whatever. Like, she never asked. So, unbeknownst to them, they joined the coven. Yes, they joined the coven. They joined the coven and they didn't know it. And so now they're in a coven. Okay, we're at the point where they're in the coven. They've been to the meeting. They went to the party. They took the cheese. They ate the cheese. They're in the car. They're on their way home. They're a part of a coven. They have no idea. Okay, so they decide to continue living their life. They don't know that they in the coven, so they're just living every day like just regular. Okay, and so the people, they wound up calling a phone. They called the girl in my mythology class. They called her phone too, and she never even gave them her phone number. They found out her phone number and called her phone. So they called both of them and they told them that it was another meeting that they had to come to, but this time it was somewhere else. It was like in a wooded area. And so she was like basically saying, "Oh no, I can't come to the meeting," and blah blah blah. And they were like, "No, yes, you have to come to the meeting, because you came to the first one. You guys are a part of our coven now. So you have no choice but to come to the meeting. You're going to mess up the circle." That's what they kept calling it, the circle, the circle. And so they didn't know what to say. So they just lied and said, "Okay," and hung up the phone or whatever. And so when they did not show up to the meeting, they showed up to their house. Yeah. They showed up to the girl in my mythology class house, and they showed up to my friend's house too, as well. They showed up to both of their houses. Both of their people that lived with them had just decided to just, like not answer the door or whatever, but because they had told them like, yeah, I'm kind of like ducking some people, and I don't even know who these people really is. So they was very honest with their family and their friends about it, and so they knew not to open the door or not to answer the door or whatever. So the people kept coming to their house, kept calling their phone, and it had got to the point where it got bad. It got real bad. Like the girl that was in my mythology class, she was in a 2-story home, and it had got to the point where they had began to climb up the home to see whose room is where. Like, where is the sister's room? Where is the cousin's room? Where is the mom's room? Where is the girl in my mythology class room? Like, she said they started climbing up their house. Like, the neighbors had wound up calling the police on them because they seen them, like, trying to climb up the side of their house to look in the window and see whose room is where or whatever. So it got that bad to the point where they was crawling up the side of these people's house. They wouldn't leave them alone. They couldn't get a restraining order because, how do you get a restraining order on a coven? They did have text message proof that these people was texting and calling them, but they was texting and calling from multiple different numbers. And it was multiple different people that was in the clique and the crew. So it's not like you could be getting one particular restraining order. It's like you would have to get multiple ones on all these different people that's a part of the coven. And so that was the issue too as well. So they did continue to keep coming by their house. They continue to keep calling their phones. They got their number changed. They found their new phone numbers. Um, my friend, her aunt stopped going down to the AA place, even though she really liked that place. She had just found a bingo hall to start hanging out at, and the bingo hall had many other activities besides just bingo. So she was really loving, like living her best life doing that. And she kind of like replaced the AA place with that or whatever. And so they continued. They did not move out of their homes, but they both did get their numbers changed, and they did continue to call their phone even if they got their number changed. And they started even emailing them, telling them that they was gonna get them, telling them all kind of stuff. Okay, it was bad. Like when I had read those emails, it was bad. And the thing about it is that they were so meticulous about how they were writing them. They made sure that they didn't say no names. They made sure that they didn't say no dates. They made sure they didn't say no times. They just was sending like threats floating out of thin air. That's what it seemed like. And so enough was enough. So I had got together with the girl that takes mythology with me, and I asked her, I was like, what did you learn from Professor R's class? Like, did you actually pay attention to like what Professor R was saying? I know that he's easy on us and he does pass us, like regardless the situation, like whether if we know or don't know what it is that he's talking about, because he just one of those type of teachers, like he's not about to fail you. He's not gonna give you an F. If you show up and you show some type of effort, then he will pass you. So I didn't know like if she actually passed because she paid attention, or if she passed because she just was putting in the effort by showing up and trying to understand Professor R, because mythology, come on now. So um she admitted that it was the second one. She really didn't care, and she really didn't know what Professor R was talking about, and she still don't remember anything from class. So that's when I just decided to just tell her and my friend that y'all gonna have to do something to scare these people off, or y'all gonna have to do something to fight them back, and I think we have the material in order to do it. So I decided to come into the situation because I was somebody that the coven did not know, and I knew that they wasn't gonna bother me because they wasn't. They just wasn't. After when I got done with them from what I had learned in Professor R's class, and of course I'm not gonna go into detail, and I'm not gonna tell you guys exactly what I had said to them, but it was something. Okay, and they thought that I was something. They thought that I was someone. They thought that I was like a head honcho and that they were in trouble because I was like basically, that's how I played it. Like when I approached these people and I talked to them about leaving my friend and the other girl alone, I was basically telling them like, these are mine, like leave them alone, like I'm already doing this with them, they already belong to me, I'm above you in hierarchy too as well, so you need to chill out. Like basically that's how okay, we didn't get to that part in the story. Okay, so and they told them like they decided to text back. My friend and the girl from the histology class, they both decided to text back at the same time, like they were sitting there talking like with the people together, like holding one person's phone basically. So they were talking through the mythology class girl's phone, and they were basically telling them like, hey, you can meet up with us at so and so, so and so, so and so, and we'll tell you everything, and we'll give you the real rundown. And so they said okay. They said okay. Yes, they said okay. So I had them tell them to meet them at this bookstore that I know that's like real old and dim and dusty, and nobody ever goes in there like that, and it's still open just because of aesthetic purposes, I guess, for reasons like this story that I'm telling you guys today. Okay, so They say that they're going to meet us there. They say they were going to meet. Well, they don't know that I'm coming, but they say that they're going to meet the mythology girl and I mean the mythology class girl and my friend there. Okay, so they come. They. I mean, we all go to the bookstore. We're waiting for them. We can't see them because the way the bookstore is set up, it's like it's books everywhere. It's books everywhere. And they're covering the windows too as well, so you can't see out of the windows and you can't see in the windows neither. So we heard the door open. It's not no customers. We know that it's them. You know what I'm saying? We know that it's them. So I'm standing there. And now me, I have put on a full blown costume. I got a full blown accent. Yes, I used to do voice acting. Yes, I am bilingual. Yes, I can adapt to, cultural, like traditional native tongue. And this time I've decided to do that in order to scare these people off, not to be ridiculous or to be disrespectful in any type of way. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people that would be like, oh no, don't speak my native tongue to, run somebody off. But Latin is kind of like an easy one to choose, and that's why I chose that one. Okay. And so these people are scared when they see me walk off of the side of my friend and the girl from the mythology class, and a person that spoke first was the ringleader, and they asked like, oh well, who's this? And then I just immediately just told them like, hey, you gotta leave them alone because you're messing up my grand gizmo spell that I've been doing for the past 2.5 years. And they're looking at me like I'm nuts. And I'm looking back at them like, yeah, I've been watching you. I've been watching your coven. I've been watching your people. We haven't spoken out to you yet, and blah, blah, blah. And they're actually believing this horse crap that I'm telling them, that I'm feeding them. And they're really believing it. They think that I'm somebody, and they think that everything that I'm telling them is true. And they're really sitting there and they're listening to everything. And I'm giving them dates, I'm giving them times, I'm telling them where they need to be, I'm telling them where they don't need to be, I'm telling them incantations, I'm speaking half Latin. I'm doing everything in the book, okay, to make these people believe that I am who I said I was. Like, I have completely turned into a person that people would never meet on the street in a million years. This has turned into a scene out of like, I've turned into Gandalf. I've turned into Voldemort for like 5 seconds, okay? And it worked. It worked. All of the voice acting, all of the writing and mythology class, and everything that I could possibly think of, I just bottled it up into one person, and that's what I got. And they actually believed me. They left my friends alone. They never called them again. They did, however, try to contact one time to ask and inquire about me. They just asked like, hey, did she say anything else about us to you guys? And that was it. And they never ever even spoke out to them again. Basically, I let them know that the covens are international, and I come from like international, like coven places. And basically, I've been watching them, and I'm in a high position of covens, and they need to chill out because they're messing up my own investigations and my own things that I'm doing myself, with the higher covens. And so these people actually believe that since they made up a coven, that they're on the map. Like, kind of like John Wick. Like, they're all on the map with each other. They all know each other. They all know how to find each other. They all got like some kind of like secret society. And I basically led these people to believe that they were a part of a secret society that they didn't know that they were a part of. And it worked. They left my friends alone. I actually wound up getting something in return for that. The bookstore owner had heard the whole situation and decided to ask me, was it true? And I said no. Like after they had left, we were like giggling and laughing because they were like, "Oh my God, Sky, I've never seen you talk like that before. I've never seen you act like that before. Oh my goodness, that's what you do when you do voice acting. That's what you turn into, a totally different person." And it's like, yeah. And so the bookstore owner had, well, or worker, I don't even know if the man had owned the place, but I just call him the bookstore owner. He had heard it and he actually got me a gig off of that. So it worked out in the end. My friends wound up being left alone. The coven stopped harassing people because they believed that they were a part of some secret society now that they aren't a part of, that I lied about, and I got a gig. So everything was everything, and I still haven't heard anything about that to this day. Like my friend, she still calls me, like every Christmas, every holiday, because she's got a family now, and so she's really really busy. She has a lot going on, but she does call me like every holiday, and she has not brought that dang on coven back up no more. So they were gone for good. The last time I do remember that she did want to be nosy like a couple of years ago just to see like what they were doing. And they were still a coven. It still was the same people in the coven. They had recruited new people, but they wound up getting like houses and living in the houses together. So I don't know what that's about, but that's their new thing, like housing. Like that's their new thing. So I don't know. I don't know if they're harassing people still. I don't see any comments. Well, we didn't see any comments like about them harassing, and they got a website too, and nobody left no weird comments on their website neither. So I don't know. Maybe they left people alone because they think that I'm watching them. They think that this huge secret society is watching them, but I was able to scare those people off with a demeanor that they had never encountered before in real life. Like you can turn the TV on and you can look at Darth Vader every day. You know what I'm saying? And he'll be so cool, as long as he's on the TV. But as soon as he's like right there in your face, you start to get a little uneasy. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those type of situations, and I'm glad that I could do that. I'm glad that my voice acting or my experiences with mythology and folklore and my studies in language really really helped my friends and helped me too, because I actually got paid a lot of money to do the gig that the bookstore guy had got me, and I was happy to all doing it. Okay, and so um comment below, ask me any questions you want to. I'll definitely answer. No, I'm not gonna disclose the coven's name. No, I'm not gonna disclose where I'm at, but you guys can ask me whatever you want. um I don't know. I'm trying my best to think of new videos that don't have anything to do with Professor R, but I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I'm thinking about doing another video after this one, but if I don't, I'll definitely be back tomorrow. Okay.